Hello everyone, welcome back to In Depth with Jodie Lobana. Today we have Dr. Das from Vancouver. He is the president of Kabir Association of Canada, and we are hosting this session especially to discuss a topic, and the topic is work, and work from the perspective of spirituality. So where does work stand in terms of spirituality? Because you have seen, I'm sure you have known and seen people that have left work and completely dedicated themselves towards spirituality. And we wanted to find out from Dr. Das, who is an eminent scholar of Saint Kabir's teachings, to find out what would Saint Kabir say about work. Would he want us to continue to work as well as do the spiritual tasks or spiritual pursuit? Would he want us to dedicate ourselves completely towards spiritual pursuits? Dr. Das, what do you think Saint Kabir wanted us to do?
Well, he wanted us to work because he himself worked. He was a weaver.
Sure.
And he wove cloth and he sold it in the marketplace. And he encouraged everybody to work. He said not to depend on others. In Hindi, he said, Kar bahiya bal apna, charo birane as, jako angan nadia bahe, kaise mare piyas. He said, do not depend on other people. Use your own effort, your own ability to earn your living. And he's saying that when there's water flowing in your own courtyard,
Sure.
Are you going to be thirsty? No. You have the ability to work. You have energy. You have wisdom, intelligence. And you are meant to use all of these. So Kabir Sahib advised very strongly not to depend on others. Another Saki along that same line,
Sure.
it's to do work. He said, Mar jaun mangu nahi apne tan ki kaaj, par maharaj ke karne mujhe awat nahi laaj. To support myself, I prefer to die than to beg.
Sure.
But if it comes to begging for the welfare of other people,
Sure.
I will not be ashamed to beg, but
Wow.
not to support myself.
Okay. So I guess he will support, when we're working with not-for-profit causes, sometimes we have to go and knock doors and ask for assistance. So he would be okay with that, but not for our own benefit per se. He would want us to earn our own living.
That is true. We
Yes.
have to earn our living.
But here's the question though, Dr. Das. It's one thing to earn living, and we all know there's difference between needs and wants. And these days you must have seen, especially in North America, but everywhere in the world, once we start earning, even if we know that perhaps 80,000 or 60,000 may be sufficient for our day-to-day life, but we continue to want to earn, trying to pursue bigger and better jobs or bigger and better businesses. So what would Kabirji say about that?
What he would say is that nothing really belongs to you.
Sure.
He said that there's nothing that is mine. And if I surrender whatever I have, it belongs to God anyway. There's no loss to me.
Sure.
So that was his attitude in this respect. So when people want to accumulate more and more, there's a sort of unstated feeling that they will own all of this,
Sure.
but they will have to die and leave them.
Yeah.
So Kabir Sahib said that is greed, because you want more than what you can use.
Sure.
And he would agree with what Mahatma Gandhi more recently said. If you take anything more than you need for your immediate use,
Sure.
you are stealing it from others.
Really?
So that's a spiritual point of view, that earn enough to sustain yourself, but do not be greedy and wanting more and more and accumulating material wealth. Try to accumulate the wealth that will be with you when you leave this world.
So what kind of wealth is that?
That is the wealth of your own self, the Atma.
Sure.
It's called Atma Gyan.
Yeah.
And the wealth, as I mentioned in a speech earlier, that Teen Lok ki Sampada, Guru Din Hidan.
Sure.
The wealth of the three worlds, the Guru, the spiritual teacher who is realized,
Sure.
he gives you that wealth that is beyond all material wealth, because that goes with you, it stays, and it doesn't get tarnished.
Yes.
It can be depleted.
Yeah.
No one can steal it. And you don't have to try to protect it. It's self-protected. It's you, your reality.
Yes.
And that is the wealth of the three worlds, because without that, nothing matters.
Yes.
So Kabir Sahib would say, gather that wealth.
Yes.
That will be with you forever.
But here's the thing, and I'm sure you've seen with other people as well, that people say it's enough for themselves, but themselves right now. But what if something happens in the future? They may need to have some money for emergencies, and they may want to keep some money for the children. So that's why people keep on accumulating. What would you say to that?
Well, what you're saying is actually correct. We do need, especially in the Western country, when we have to be dependent on ourselves when we retire. And to do that, we have to have sufficient means. And so it's okay, because you're still supporting yourself, not in a way of greed, but in a way of necessity. And as you mentioned earlier, there's needs and wants.
Yeah.
So we must supply our needs. But when our wants exceed what we need, that's not necessary, that's greed.
Sure. Other thing is, when we get caught in the web of wants, it takes time away. We only have limited number of days on planet Earth. That if we give the time away to work, especially beyond our needs, then that's time away from our pursuit of self-knowledge or enlightenment.
That is true. So we have to have that value system. What is really valuable? And we have to use our vivek, our discriminative knowledge.
Sure.
These material things, are they so great or necessary that I do not put time aside for my own spiritual development,
Sure.
my own enlightenment, my own peace of mind, my stability of the mind?
Sure.
Are these things important compared to those material things?
Yes.
We know that material things can bring a lot of stress, and people have committed suicide over loss of certain material things.
Yes.
But when you have the wealth within, then that gives you a contentment,
Sure.
a satisfaction, that you don't have to chase after material things. And so we have to apportion our time,
Definitely.
certain amount to accumulate for our needs,
Sure.
and the rest is to know how to live this life and how to use those material things.
So in essence, that other wealth that we're gonna take with us is as important, if not more important. It's probably more important because that's eternal wealth that we take with us, versus just this wealth. That material wealth is only for up to 100 years of human life. So definitely, I think that's what we will recommend to our viewers as well, and also recommend to our own selves, that we spend that time towards the pursuit of eternal wealth.
That is correct. I think we need to, and especially as youth are growing up in this Western materialistic society, we need to realize the value of life.
Sure.
That is not only material things, but what is the spirit?
Yes.
What is love? What is stability of the mind? What is compassion?
Yes.
These things are very, very important in life. And without them, material things do not bring happiness and peace and bliss in life.
Yes. Actually, interestingly, you talked about happiness. Somebody asked Dalai Lama, what is the purpose of a human's life? And Dalai Lama said, the purpose can be summarized in just one word, and that is happiness. Happiness is the key goal. Even if people are trying to get wealth, properties, and all those things that come with wealth, at the end of the day, there is a feeling in their heart that somehow that can bring happiness. But I guess the point that you were trying to bring up, Dr. Das, is that doesn't bring the ultimate happiness. For the ultimate happiness, we need to do work towards the eternal wealth, which is our self-knowledge.
That is absolutely correct. And you can prove this to yourself.
Sure.
Just be quiet. Just be. Let go of all the problems of the past and contemplations of things of the future, and just realize who you are in peace, in solitude,
Yes.
and you will find the greatest bliss.
Yes.
Whereas when your mind is running after things and is busy, that's not a state of bliss.
Definitely.
It's a state of frustration and commotion.
Yes.
Bliss comes only in absolute peace.
Yes, definitely. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Das, for your commentary on what Saint Kabir had said about work, and hopefully our viewers would benefit from it and apply some of those principles, especially principles about attaining that eternal wealth that's going to go with us when we leave planet Earth. So thanks again, and to our dear viewers, we'll come back soon with another episode with another topic with Dr. Das. So tune back in again.